Hello, I am Wendy Ivy Martinez and welcome to my August TBR. I have deemed August back to horror month. And so, you know, cause I hope this is cute, okay? I hope this isn't like a weird name. You know how like they have like Summerween and Slashtober. I wanted a cool name, okay? So it's not as cool as those. But you know how like August is back to school month? It's back to horror. This month, I am planning on reading. I'm planning on doing that video that I've been dying to do because I have mentioned this so many times that if you guys have watched my previous videos, you guys probably have heard me mention that I feel like Grady Hendrix and I would really mesh. You know, his books and I would just get along really well. Like, I would love them. And so I wanted to use this month, August, to read the books that I do have by him, because I have 6 books by him, just because I'm that sure that I'm gonna like his stuff, okay? But on top of that, I'm going to pull a few prompts from my TBR jar, and I have my read it or unhaul it, and these are pretty much every single book I own in the different various genres. I got this idea from another booktube where I'll put her link down below. She does this and I'm like, ooh, this is such a fun idea, because I have a lot of books that I haven't got to, but I'll have all my new books in here too. I will show you the Grady Hendrix books first. I'm gonna do this backward. Let's go ahead and get started. Alright, so let's go ahead and get started with the Grady Hendrix books that I will be reading this month. I have a total of 6 books by him, plus I have one on my Kindle that I don't know if I'm going to get around to reading, but these for sure I want to get around to reading. The first book is Horror Store, a novel by Grady Hendrix, and this I got because it looks like an IKEA manual, and it is beautiful and it is adorable and I love it. And this is about a haunted furniture store, and basically like during the nighttime things turn out missing, so by the end of the day like things are broken, so customers' orders are ruined, and it gets to the point where it's really disrupting the business, that they hire employees to work overnight just to keep, you know, to find out what's going on and to keep the store safe. Little do they know that it's haunted, and like it just seems like a haunted like IKEA store. Come on, like that just sounds so fun. So I'm excited. Like, just look at the cover. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. We love it. We love it. Next book that I'm going to be reading is We Sold Our Souls by, again, Grady Hendrix. All of these are books that I recently hauled, by the way. I pretty much just bought all of these minus one, just because I'm that sure, you guys, that I'm going to love Grady Hendrix. This one is about a girl who's like a rock star in the 90s, and she grows up and then she starts working. She has like a lot of like dead-end jobs, and every morning she wakes up like in hell, and then it turns out that her ex or something like that, somebody sold her soul to the devil, so she has to go back and try to retrieve her soul. It just looks like an amazing time. Okay, it looks like an amazing time, and it gives me very Tenacious D vibes, and I love Tenacious D. I love that movie. I love the music. I'm all for it, and I feel come on, it just looks amazing. The next book, this is the only book that I've had for years, and that is the Southern Book Club's Guide to Slaying Vampires. Another thing that I love about Grady Hendrix is that he likes to make like timepieces, I guess. He has a few books that take place in the 90s, a few books that take place in the 80s, and I've been feeling very nostalgic for the past, I don't even know how long now. And so this one takes place in 1995, I believe, and this is about a Southern Belle, like a book club, and then children, I believe, start to go missing, and they think that it's a vampire that's doing this, and little do they know, one of their neighbors very much is a vampire. And I heard that this is very much like comedic horror, and that it's gonna be a good time. So I think I might start off with this book this month. The next book that I'm going to be reading in the Grady Hendrix vlog is My Best Friend's Exorcism, because this has the most beautiful, fantastic, gorgeous, I'm obsessed with cover I have ever seen in my life. I love 80s vibes and 90s vibes, and this gives me just that. This takes place in the 80s. I mean, come on, can we just talk about this? It looks like a VHS tape. The back looks like a VHS tape. We just love it. We just love it here, okay? I think they made a movie about this, but I don't care for the movie. I want to read the book. And this one is about a girl whose best friend has an exorcism. I don't know what this is about actually, but I know that it takes place in the 80s. That's all I want to know. This is one that I want to go into blindly. The last two I want to go in completely blindly. It's How to Sell a Haunted House by Grady Hendrix. This is his most recent release, I believe. And this one I'm assuming is about how to sell a haunted house. I don't know, but again, the cover's stunning. Grady Hendrix is like the king, or whoever designs his covers, they know what they're doing, because these are the most beautiful covers I've ever seen in my life, and every author needs to hire this person. Sarah J. Maas, I'm looking at you. Yeah, okay. All right, let's just move on. And then last but certainly not least, it's The Final Girl Support Group by Grady Hendrix. So again, this is another one that I don't know too much about. I'm assuming it's, I think, and I could be wrong. If I'm wrong, just let me know. Just let me know so that I don't give other people false hope. But I believe it is about the final girls in like the horror films and all that survive the slashers and the monsters and all that, and it's their support group. That's all I know. I'm assuming it's about that, and that's all I know. So that's it for the Grady Hendrix books. Now let's grab some stuff from the TBR jar, and then we're gonna do one from the Read It or Unhaul It, and we're gonna have fun with it. Yeah. Right, so we're gonna try to stick to horror, but that depends on if our TBR jar lets us. So if you guys don't know what a TBR jar is I have various prompts in this little jar, and then I'm going to open it up and find a book that corresponds with whatever prompt pops up. It's in the little thingy. So shaking it up, giving it a good vicious shake. Please keep our horror thing going. Or romantasy. Find a book with a pattern on the cover. Grabbing one more. A book that was published in 2021. All right, let's do this. Okay, I want to pull one more out just for fun, just for funsies, because this is funsies. A book that ends in an odd number of pages. Okay, so I have a lot of variety for two of those three. So I have a wide range of books that I could grab from. Awesome. Okay, yes, let's do this. Let's do this. So for the book that ends with an odd number of pages, I chose A Song of Sin and Salvation by L.H. Blake. This is a fan fiction about Eddie and Chrissy. If you guys watch Stranger Things, I have been dying, absolutely dying to read this book. So I'm excited for it. I really want to get into it, and it has 495 pages, which makes it an odd number of pages. It's a very hefty one, but it's Eddie, so I feel like I don't care how many pages it is. I don't think I'll mind it. Okay, so for the book with a pattern on the cover, I chose, I hope this is a pattern. I chose Fantastic Land. And the pattern that I see here are like little stripes. I hope you can see that. Okay, I'm counting it as a pattern because it's like a stripey. Okay, they're lines, and lines are patterns. Okay, stripes are patterns. Is that cheating a little bit? Maybe, but it looks like a pattern to me. So I will take it as a pattern because I really desperately want to read this. So that is Fantastic Land, and this one has a very like Lord of the Flies feel. It's about this amusement park that like drifts off, and these teenagers work there, and they basically, since they're they get drifted off into the middle of nowhere. They commit these like heinous acts and stuff because they're in survival mode, and it's told in a series of interviews about like what went down and everything like that. But I'm excited for this one as well. So the last one is a book that was published in 2021, and I actually chose 2 books for this. So for both books, I got The Whispering Dead by Darcy Coates, and this is about a girl who takes sanctuary in, I believe she's like homeless or something, and she takes sanctuary in the groundskeeper's cottage, and then she begins hearing voices, and then this ghost comes out and things like that. It looks like a very fun, fast read. It's like very short. The text is very large, and I was reading this at Barnes & Noble one day, and I was just sitting there enjoying my coffee trying to decide whether or not I would want to buy this book, and I was hooked immediately. So I really want to get to this one this month. But I also got Notes on an Execution because I've heard nothing but fantastic things about this one. This one, I don't really know too much of what it's about. I know that it's a thriller, and the only thing that I want to say is the first sentence on here, because that was enough to like get me hooked. I've heard nothing but good things about this book. It says, Ansel Packer is scheduled to die in 12 hours. He knows what he's done and now awaits execution. The same chilling fate he forced on those girls years ago. That alone, I'm like, yes, sold, you sold me. And the only thing that is a little scary is how tiny is the whiskey the text is. Oh, hi, hello, it's me from later on. And I think I'm going to trade the Notes on an Execution for The Haunting of Ashburn House. And the reason why is because, I mean, I deemed this month back to horror. And I feel like I had a little, I still had a lot of horror, but I had thrillers too. So I wanted to make sure that I had more horror. So we're trading that one for this one and this one's going to be for the odd number of pages because there's 329 pages in this book. So it goes with that TBR prompt. So excited for this one. Let's go ahead and get to the last book that we're choosing for this month's TBR, which is the Read It or Unhaul It challenge. Last but certainly not least, we've got our Read It or Unhaul It challenge. So this is basically every single physical book that I own. I'm going to pull one from here, and I'm going to decide whether I'm going to read it or unhaul it. So yes, so let's go ahead and do that. And okay, so I got, it's open already. So I got a thriller, and it is Final Girls by Riley Sager. It's right over here. So we got a few Final Girls books this month, and we got quite a lot of horror. So I'm really excited. Okay, so here is my TBR. Okay, so Final Girls, I don't know what it is. It reminds me so much of the Final Girl Support Group by Grady Hendrix. Don't know the differences between this one or that one. This one could be the Final Girls from Horrors, and that one could become something completely different. I don't know. I don't know, okay? But I'm excited. So let me grab my TBR. So this is my TBR for August. This is my TBR for August. Yes, thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video. And stay tuned for my Grady Hendrix reading vlog where I will be reading all his books. Anyways, you guys, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.